Okay, let's move on to BNSN, the stock game. A quick look at the rules. Our three experts are given a notional amount of 5 lakhs and create a portfolio with a total of 4 stocks. 1 stock can be picked out from the F&O space. There's a compulsory churn of 2 stocks every single day, and when targets and stop losses are hit, they have to churn those stocks with a new one. It's today, at the end of the week, that is, that we will declare the winner based on who has made the most gains on their portfolios. Time to get on board our experts. Joining in this week, we have Ruchit Jain of Angel Broking, Rajesh Sharma and Siddhartha Chatterjee of Trustline Securities. Welcome to the show. Ruchit, let's talk about LIC Housing Finance, a stock that's on your buy radar, as well as Lupin from the pharma space.
Yeah, so LIC, if we see, then it's trading near its trendline support, and near the trendline support last week it had formed a long leg doji pattern. So we are anticipating a possible upside momentum to pick up in the stock in near term. On the high side, the stock has potential to go up to 430 in short term, and one can still buy at current levels with stop loss placed below 393. My second call was a buy call in Lupin. We had seen a couple of weeks back that the Lupin took support near 1600, which was its medium to long term support, and gave a healthy bounce back up to 1900. Possibly that pullback was with a very good volumes, and after that the stock has retraced some of those gains. So near it's trading again near the support levels, and we think that and one more upside leg would fold in this in near term. So with a target of 1835, one can look to go long in Lupin with stop loss placed below 1730.
And talking about pharma, that's certainly been in focus all through. And Rajesh, your first 2 picks for the day are coming in from this segment. There's Oro on the list, and there's also Torrent Pharma.
Morning, Megha, Avan and Avyus. I have retained these 2 picks from yesterday. As you see, the rupees now hovering around its all-time low levels. So probably it will give the depreciation as to the exporting companies, particularly in the IT and the pharma space. So I'm hoping the momentum will carry from tomorrow, though it looks like it's a little down today. But I think the stock, the charts, technicals look supportive, and that's why I've chosen to go long with Aurobindo and ditto with Torrent Pharma, because those are the 2 considerations that I had opted for pharma.
Okay, that's the call coming in on some mid-cap stocks that Rajesh has on his radar. Siddhartha Chatterjee also with us on the show, a portfolio full of sell calls. Let's nail it down to the index one first. The Bank Nifty futures, how come you're shorting this? And BPCL, what are the kind of levels you're mapping out? Is this for the long haul as well?
Yeah, I've tried to short a Bank Nifty in the morning, just for the purpose of a trading perspective, because yesterday's closing patterns was not very encouraging, but it was within a range, and I thought it could possibly trade at the lower part of the range today also. And so I had given a Bank Nifty sell, as well as I had also given another bank, investment bank, a sell. I'll come to that later. Right now I have given Bank Nifty and a BPCL. Basically, it's through trading pattern and just to take advantage of certain, for the playing the game, to take advantage of some weakness which I thought in the morning could happen.
Okay, well, that's the call coming in on the Bank Nifty as well as BPCL, with the targets already in the bag. But let's take you through how the portfolio for all the experts is playing out right now. That's Ruchit's portfolio on your screens. Lupin as well as HDFC Bank, those 2 long calls aren't working out too great, as you can see. But the first 2 names are definitely in the green, and it's a gain of over 33,000 rupees on day 5 so far. Talk about Rajesh Sharma's portfolio, and it was an all-long list for today. There's Aban Offshore, which has been stopped out. Aurobindo Farmers is also not working out too well, and overall he's losing about 21,000 rupees on the portfolio. And lastly, Siddhartha Chatterjee's portfolio, and great Friday for him. You have Bank Nifty, which has been stopped out, but the other 3 names have already hit the target that he'd set out, and it's a gain of over 8%. So that's over 40,000 rupees that Siddhartha is currently sitting on. So far, Siddhartha is clearly in the leading spot. But let's go across to Ruchit then once again and get on board his rationale behind nibbling into a Bajaj Auto as well as an HDFC Bank.
Bajaj Auto since last 10-15 trading sessions was consolidating in the sideways range of 2250 to 2400. Yesterday's trading session we saw a breakout coming off that consolidation range, which indicates that a pullback move in the stock could be seen at least up to 2465. So that's why I recommended this stock. Any declines if one gets again in today's trading session, then it should be used as a buying opportunity. Keep a stop loss below 2379 for target of 2465. My last call was I had given was HDFC Bank. Yesterday we saw that the stock showed good positive momentum after formation of a doji on Wednesday's trading session. So I was expecting a continuation of that up move. However, the stock has not done that well in today's trading session. So in case if it again goes above yesterday's high, above 990, then I think it could do well for rest of the session.
Okay, that's a word on HDFC Bank as well as Bajaj Auto. By the way, the one-week chart of Bajaj Auto has been fairly encouraging. The stock has piled on almost about 6%, and Ruchit there talking about levels of 2465 on that stock with a buy recommendation. HDFC Bank, it's been a little bit choppy for the entire banking sector as a whole this entire week, but the stock has been a little bit quiet, a 1% gain after all the give and take. Let's move right on then and get on board the last two recommendations that Rajesh has in his portfolio. We've discussed the pharma space pretty extensively, two stocks that you like. Let's focus in then on IT. The stock that stands out according to you is Infosys. Why is that? And Aban Offshore. We saw a pretty strong rally. What's the call there?
Avan, I'll take the INFI first. The INFI closed yesterday above its all averages, all important averages that matters, and it has given a breakout from a triangle pattern. The moves looks like a pretty fresh one as far as the charts are concerned, and as all oscillators are moving in tandem with the prices in the positive territory, I think the stock can scale higher. Moreover, the rupee depreciation is also going to benefit the company, and it is the leading IT exporter from India. And in these uncertain times, the churn by the FIs and the DIs in the portfolios and in the funds will certainly ensure more participation, as it's a good defensive as well as a bellwether bet. So hence I've chosen to go long on Infosys and taken a future. The second is a buy in Aban. This is a gem that's stuck in the vicious commodity meltdown and the and the oil price cycle, which is just heading south only. If you see, this stock has been beaten to the pulp category, like falling from some 1,000-odd levels to the present sub 150 levels. If you see, the stock has extremely good fundamentals, and right now it's quoting at 0.3 to the price to book. That is like 1/3 of the book value. And the stock has good fundamental. Till about 2 quarters back, the company was making good amount of profit. That said, the recent OPEC meeting has led to the international flare-up in the crude oil prices. And since Iran has agreed to toe the line, I think crude has made a temporary bottom. We cannot say for sure whether it's a comprehensive bottom. That will know only after 6 months. But right now, the technicals of the trade also support an up move. Looks like if we have, though I've been stopped out, but if we have a update today, I think stock can scale back all along to 185 levels.
Okay, that's the call coming in on the last two ideas from Rajesh. Meanwhile, in the broader markets, the individual names that are jumping up quite a bit, and fertilizer stocks, those are certainly in focus. There's RCF jumped up about 6%. You also have a Deepak Fort holding out quite well. But on the Nifty 500 specifically, there's a Treehouse Education. That name has seen a spectacular rally as we speak. It's 10% higher almost for a Treehouse Education, locked in on the upper circuit. The last hour or so, there's been a fair amount of activity definitely brewing here. The volumes picture also will indicate the sort of, the traction the stock is seeing. 81.05. There's certainly a lot of interest brewing through here. Meanwhile, let's shift gears and focus in on Siddhartha's last two ideas. And Tata, This has been a multi-bagger, it's grown something like 3 times in a matter of about 2 years, Siddhartha. But you're shorting it for the day, and there's also IndusInd Bank.
No, Tata Elxsi has been one of my favorite picks, and I've been tracking the stock right away from 300 rupees. I had gone for a short today, looking at yesterday's closing, the trading pattern, the range it's trying to trade, and obviously in this range what will happen is that typically at the higher levels it will retrace back to certain base support levels. Though the base support level is very lower, as low as 1650, but I think at the 1900 range it's also taking 1850 as a base support. Maybe a higher bottom is getting formed over the time. IndusInd Bank, I saw the closing yesterday, and I thought it was trying to, beat the main market sentiment. So obviously, when you have a kind of a closing like that, I thought it can be a short kind of candidate for a temporary gain, and that's why IndusInd Bank has been a short for me. I would tend to say that time has come for a shift into PSU banks, and maybe thereby the private banks could be in a range or trapped in the range, and so sell on rise may be a good idea going forward.
Okay, that's the call coming in on the last 2 stocks that Siddhartha has handpicked. Let's have a look at the calculators before we wrap it up. First, Ruchit Jain, an all-buy list, and that's 50-50 for him today, making gains on Bajaj Auto and LIC Housing Finance. A total gain on the entire calculator, 6.7%, 33,500 rupees. That's what it currently stands at. Rajesh Sharma up next. Well, he's been stopped out on Oman offshore. Aurobindo is a spot of bother as well, and he's losing out on the total portfolio, 4.2% right now. That's 21,000 rupees. And finally, to Siddhartha Chatterjee, the entire portfolio locked in for the day, which means that the Bank Nifty futures has been stopped out, but the other 3 stocks have hit the target price. He is still sitting on a gain of about 8%, which is 41,400 rupees. Continues to remain in the top spot, followed by Ruchit and Rajesh. Thanks so much then, gentlemen, for taking time out and being with us on the stock game this week.
All right, and with that, it's time for us to wrap up the show. But as we do that, here out co-chairman of Oaktree Capital Management, Howard Marks, who has spoken for the first time to an Indian TV channel. Marks says that he believes China remains a market that the world is unable to understand, and hence the volatility. Here out an excerpt of our conversation with one of the world's biggest distressed debt investors.
What is your assessment of China? The Chinese economy clearly is in